And just to let you know, Doug, Ellen can't make it today because she's running as host for the CCIM in Vancouver. So sometimes we all have to pinch hit for everyone and step in when we can.
Yeah, no, the event that and thank you. I'm Doug Brunke. I'm the founder and CEO of Global Chamber, and Ellen led just a really inspirational conversation on Sunday in Vancouver. I was particularly moved several different aspects of that. Number one, how she was able to pull that event together quite quickly with leaders from around the world. This was Sunday brunch in Vancouver, and she even arranged perfect weather for Vancouver this time of year. Nice sunny day, and it was just people from around the world, including Ayman Alawadi, who is our representative, one of two key brothers within our representative company, the corporate group in the UAE, who gave a presentation on some of the opportunity. James, for me, I think one of the most significant conversations was the architect, Mr. Hyun, and how he talked about the Japanese Plaza Village or Village Plaza in Los Angeles, and how a real estate project, a commercial real estate project, transformed Little Tokyo in downtown Los Angeles. How his father had the design, how he helped get it financed, including worked through the network of all the people that needed to be involved, including the mayor, including in that case, I believe Bank of America was the one that funded the project. And his passion about that project decades ago and how it transformed the region, I think goes, James, to the power of real estate and how it meshes so perfectly with business. In that particular case, he talked with relish about how I guess they were managing a lot of the at least the incoming checks from the rent for the facility, and how that little community was able to transform and have these businesses be quite successful in terms of number of people. And even today, I'm embarrassed to say I've not been there, but you must have been there. And so, doesn't that really speak to how important real estate is in the mix?
You know, Doug, it really is. And this is why with the Global Chamber, just being part of the family here, listening to everyone, with a lot of the import exports designers, everything starts with commercial. The land is what I told people because they have to find locations. We knew during COVID, everyone had to find different headquarters. People started splitting up headquarters. And even, well, right now with the different tariffs, like it or not, right? We were in Canada, Doug, as Americans, and we said, don't blame us for all that's going on. But, it does impact the real estate and how they move around because of the tariffs. We cannot find in the US enough warehouses and industrial parks. So much so that everyone needs to build supply chain, last mile, new logistics. And everyone is really scrambling around trying to figure out where to go, why to go, how to go into everything around the world. And it is very interesting where real estate, as we start adjusting with the economics, the political, there's always the revitalization. And that's exciting, talking to Eamon about smart cities, how cities are going to start working, like it or not. Sometimes everyone says walkable cities, right? There's so much now going into, especially with technology and real estate, that everything is being redone, reimagined, remade, rebuilt, and new pathways, not just with AI and integration with automation and technology, but there are now new pathways of how really cities, how people live in cities now. And I think as Global Chamber, and one thing, the epiphany, Doug, and I think for you too, the economic development is so powerful and so strong in Global Chamber, but it fits, really hand in glove with real estate and developers and everything we're doing here. So I know with our group, as we're trying to scale it, but give value of knowledge of those that are in different locations, but really how to put a lot of these pieces together. And Doug, if you don't mind, I'll share a quick presentation that I couldn't go over at Renaissance with everything with the partnership, Doug, and how we can speak a little bit like a fireside chat of why this Renaissance we're doing. And it is mostly focused on commercial, but commercial is such a wide topic that encompasses everything. So if I'm allowed to share the screen, let me just.
You're always allowed to share.
Okay.
Not just because of you, but also just generally. But thank you for the opportunity. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So when we're sharing Renaissance, as everyone knows, I had an opportunity to run many commercial real estate firms. There was always we do transactions or we do leasing or most people don't even touch, we do business brokerage, but there was nothing that really got everyone to be integrated and tied together. And this is where the Renaissance came in, where there were 30 past presidents right now within the group. And Doug, like with you, CEO and chairman founders that found a integrated fit in real estate. So let me move. Always having a problem moving the screen. Hold on. Oh, there we go. So when we introduce this, it really is a network of how we connect with different trade groups, organizations to help everyone in real estate. And I know working with Global Chamber, Ellen and I, and many of us here have saw the value of really plugging in and sharing. And this is the thing, Doug, with Global Chamber, because of the supply chain, import, export, a lot of it with economic development to give everyone research reports. Of course, being a member, right, is what we want to do. There are the free versions, people can listen and learn and connect, but we hope people become a member of Global Chamber really to access, especially in real estate, commercial real estate, the economic development reports that all cities, countries, regions really wants to start moving money in. So we did start putting this together with a group of friends, like how it always starts. We have an idea, we want to bring friends together. A lot of it US centric or North America, but many friends around the world, as you see, has started plugging in to grow this global network. Doug, that's why Global Chamber is such a great fit of what we're doing. And we always say why Renaissance? What it is really like Global Chamber, putting like-minded individuals to educate everyone, teach everyone, make friends with local areas, communities, send referrals. And I think that's the big one. Everyone needs to know who we can trust to send referrals, leads, because like I see Patricia just say, Patricia, here you go. Here's a lead because I see you, I know you, I got to understand, who you are as a person and follow up. This is very important when you pass leads and referrals. As everyone knows, it's better not to pass any referrals if you're going to pass it to a bad person because it's a reflection on you. And that's why Global Chamber, Doug, with those that we see over and over, friendships that are built and seeing people in person. It's important. I know you came up not only for Ellen, myself, and the launch, but to see Eamon, right? That you haven't seen in such a long time, but such a dear friend to you, and getting to know him and still see him while he's in the US. A lot of times what we're trying to do is simplify the global reach to the local because we know it always starts local. We need boots on the ground. I really don't like when people say I'm global and you're local, right? But you're doing business somewhere else. No. You're global in the aspect of you want business to come to you is how you're global, but you're not global, like Paula in a different country, or in a different city there, right? Yes, we love global, but a lot of times we need local people and businesses and contacts to do this global business. We always say the biggest opportunity is we started expanding into many services where it comes to business brokerage, property management. I see Scott Cook here, capital markets, moving money around. And when we talk about capital markets, we're talking about top of the stack, the equity, right? That's what really moves a lot of businesses. So a lot of times when you see projects, you want the equity, not the debt. If you get enough equity, you can borrow the debt, right? Whether you have a balance sheet or you have the collateral of the land on the bottom. So a lot of these pieces we're putting together in commercial and with different contacts could actually help you with the attorneys, with the CPAs, with the developers, with the money, with the property management. All aspects, Doug, of Global Chamber fits into this, and the people that want to do business with each other. And case in point, I have calls because of Global Chamber with Rick Buss. Rick and our group are doing deals, putting a plan and team together in the Phoenix area. Eamon and all of us will probably do this, meeting your friends, Colin Christie in the Philippines and other friends in Korea, UK, Mexico. This is what's important. If we build these relationship contacts, seeing the needs of what we want, and then starting to connect. And now, Doug, I hope with Rick, we can share some really good positive feedback of how Global Chamber, through this connection, really got us to do so much. And this is what we're trying to do for everyone, like Global Chamber, but very specific just to real estate, is to connect everyone in real estate, mostly commercial, but I know a lot of developers or a lot of single family agents want to join us, residential agents, mostly because we are doing ground up construction development, mixed use with a lot of condo sales or just residential properties that are being developed. I think in the group we have, I would say 3,000, 4,000 units being built all around the world. And these are the things through friends and contacts we want to share, really sending referrals. Starts with coaching and education, learning, mentoring, depending on what you want to do. And we hope with Global Chamber, so many good people, we've all helped each other send referrals, leads, speaking opportunities, really marketing in the tech, creating opportunities globally, really plugging and partnering with Global Chamber as a benefit, and the research that Global Chamber really provides. And this is the big thing for us on the commercial side, reducing costs. Because we're all grouping together as a large group, there's opportunities that we're bringing down technology costs, service costs. And I'll just say this, in the US, we have RESPA laws. RESPA laws don't allow in residential properties, so you can get service, you can get fees or commissions on some services. Commercial is different. Commercial on services, you can actually make some money. So one thing we built with Renaissance too is allowing a lot of these different technologies and groups. So if you refer or invite people, and Doug, so anyone from the group is Global Chambers, we pay a fee to Global Chamber, but we also pay the referral to the agent that does the job, no worse than what they would get going direct anyway. So we want, as the market is getting tougher, a lot of times for people doing transactions, is to allow them to really make some extra money, make some extra connections, learn. And with the technologies we kind of shared, most of us, not only people, which is very important, we started, many of us bought and owned technology companies like eMedia. eMedia, I'd say, is more global with over 1 million eyeballs. I would say they have about 10 million people in their database through their partnerships. It allows you to market, as you can see, Ellen's part of it, John, Thomas Park. I mean, there's a lot of success that people have used eMedia to market their real estate, to get millions of eyeballs, to get referrals and leads back. And Doug, we're hoping to use this too for Global Chamber to increase membership and awareness of what Global Chamber can do. It is integrated with so many different technology, as you can see. Don't want to go there so much. Scott's here. Many of us have been friends and partners with many in real estate for many decades, from different companies we ran, trade organizations we ran, technology companies we've run. Ellen's there running our growth. That's why I thought she would be a good fit, and now a member too of Global Chamber. Paul Danks, this is new that added to our group. Paul was SIOR, Rick's president and director for Europe. Been a long time in Europe, so you can see a lot of times in Europe with many of our friends in Global Chamber and friends from different trade groups, is now a part of this. Steve Atherton, about 35, 40 years in the business. Steve has run Asia Pac for a very long time, from NAI to run Colliers Capital Markets to many contacts in Asia. So with many of our groups that run regions, We actually go down to the local level like Japan, Korea, China, Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia, right? In Europe, Poland, France, Germany. This is why I'm going to the UAE and also to Europe afterwards, like this year, is to meet with a lot of our friends around the world to set up the different regions. Advisory boards, Jeff Finn. This is the big one where Jeff owned RealNext. He used to own NAI Global, which was at the height for about 15 years ago, number 4 in the world. So when you hear a CBRE, JLL, Colliers, you hear her NAI. Jeff, his family owned that company. Jerry Anderson was also past president of Sperry Van Ness, CBC, even even CBRE when it was CB back in the day. I think he's one of our, I would say, most experienced. No one wants to be called old, but the most experienced one. Fred Schmidt ran CBRE Corporate Services. He also ran Coldwell Banker Commercial, consulted, does a lot of other business. Jenny, this is who I knew in Korea. Very powerful, knowing, I would say her Rolodex are all billionaires. Doug, as you know, going to her event, just a lot of startups, her relationships, is just tremendous. Daniel, a part of a growth team, his family owns 100 shopping centers in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, has so much experience and really giving. I would say he was born retired, but he still likes to give back, serve, give back, help. So this is where we said with the Renaissance Network, it is free to join, to use a lot of growth where you invite people, and anyone we hope that gets involved grows and builds with Global Chamber. But also, there's a way if you invite people, we register you as the person sending the person over. Like Doug, most people at the Global Chamber is under the Global Chamber referral because we met here in Global Chamber. And then when you plug in to use services, because of non-RESPA and different rules and wholesale pricing we can cut, it allows many of the agents to make other monies. I would say just one line until we scale it, but also other investment opportunities, referrals, ways that everyone could collaborate and work. And Doug, I'll share this with you and our team. And really, there's ReSAS, RealNext, and this is what I wanted to share. Doug, and I'll stop sharing, but the relationship with Global Chamber is very special because of the membership. We do want to plug in so everyone can now collaborate, connect with each other, make extra money by friendships around the world. But this is where we're scaling it. And Doug, like I said, using what you have in, I would say, economic development, there's going to be a lot of business with your economic development partners to sponsor now, because they're going to get business, they're going to bring awareness, they're going to show that we can bring, and they talk to us in the, I would say, hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars sometimes, into their projects. So this is where we're building this global network of really past presidents, but allowing new agents to learn. Very large institutional groups. We do have people in our group that are in the billions of dollars, publicly traded, that we're all kind of working together. They don't always show up in the meetings, I'll tell you that. But there is access because the way we're organizing, you can connect with them by showing up to the meetings or looking for a referral. Either it's a law firm, a development company, some type of service. And the good thing is, you'll know it's very transparent if there is a fee agreement, that you know what you'll get. And usually the person that recommended you to Renaissance will earn something too, as long as Lauren, the lawyer here, legal, right? But we know in commercial, very different. So sometimes when you use our attorneys, we can't pay you. It has to go through an attorney, or there's other ways we can figure out how everyone can support each other. But that's what it is, whether it's reducing billable hours, right, Lauren, right? You don't have to charge full. You may not pass the money. Everything is full disclosure. That's why we're showing everything, how people get paid, from everything as from services. And this is what we're pushing in the group: speaking opportunities, being on panels, presenting more, writing books, building your own content, building your brand. And like Global Chamber, why we love it so much, Doug, is to connect with people, build our network larger. and really serve and do a lot of good around the world. So, I mean, this is where it is. Many people don't have to work anymore. They like to work. What else would you do, Doug? As you know, you're kind of Global Chamber's your baby after being an engineer. So this is what we're trying to build, the partnership with Global Chamber and the resources now, Doug, of everything we're doing to support and build and grow with Global Chamber. But you've kind of seen us not just for a little bit, but for a couple years now. So you know this is the way we are, this is who we are as people. And I think that's the biggest thing. It's the trust, right? Not just what can I get, but what can I give? How can we help? And how can we work together?
I've come to appreciate the value of commercial real estate and real estate generally in the mix of all the things that we do. To your point, my background is as a chemical engineer with DuPont in a corporate world, mostly in Asia, and I'm a business guy and trade guy, and all along we've had members of Global Chamber as part of the real estate community as members. And now I really appreciate you to have the vision to be able to more fully integrate that all in. On Monday, 2 days ago, we had our semiconductor summit that was kicking off Semicon West in Phoenix. So the Semicon West is going on now 7th through 10th. And it's sure about semiconductor, but it is also significantly about commercial real estate. And in our meeting, we had Terry Scott of Colliers speak about the market in Phoenix. We had Barry Broom, who is the CEO of the Greater Sacramento Economic Council, talk about California more generally, but also Sacramento. We had Jeff Pappas zooming in from Dallas, talk from Newmark, speaking about the market for the semiconductor world, the semiconductor supply chain, and how Texas and Mexico interact with Arizona and California and other states and where that all occurs. We had economic development leaders from the Phoenix area, including the City of Phoenix and the Arizona Commerce Authority and the Greater Phoenix Economic Council, all part. And I think all of us can see the more you jump into it in terms of how that ecosystem exists between business, economic development, and the commercial real estate. I really appreciate you having that vision and pulling that together. One of our new members is someone who's been in this conversation for a bit. That's Donna Smiley, based in the Atlanta area. She's the CEO and founder of Titan Real Estate. She herself has had quite a fascinating and very valuable real estate background. And now as CEO and founder, Donna, I don't know whether you can say a few words, but the Atlanta area also is such a dynamic community, particularly with the inland port coming and the trade that's been all along. I don't know what corridor that is. I know I've traveled into Atlanta and traveled south to LaGrange. And where there was a Japanese community of different companies, and of course Savannah to the east. So could you comment a little bit about your own business and what you're involved with and maybe the market there?
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning, everyone. My name again is Donna Smiley. I'm a commercial real estate broker in the Metro Atlanta market. I hold a broker's license in Georgia as well as Florida. And I'm also doing cross-border opportunities and helping companies from India come to Georgia as well. Since February, I've helped 3 companies set up satellite offices here. And I have a lot of stuff going on with India, which is super exciting. And primarily what I've done for the past 10 years is tenant rep, landlord representation. But I've also done investment sales as well. So I've kind of touched a little bit of everything in commercial real estate. I also hold a CAM license in property management as well, for multifamily assets. So I do have a property management company here as well. And yeah, the market right now is booming. It depends on which pocket as far as industrial. Up the 400 corridor, it's like if you ever been to Atlanta, it's an interstate called 400. If you go 400 north, it's always booming when it comes to industrial. industrial. Down where I live is kind of south in Henry County. We have a lot of industrial down that way as well. And then when you go to areas to like the west, they're starting to kind of not want as much industrial, especially by our airport. They're kind of like cracking down on industrial and not wanting as much industrial anymore. But from the industrial standpoint, it's been booming for a while. And then as far as the retail component of it, we've had increases in our rents from a tenant rep perspective since COVID. Since we were kind of one of the only cities that were like open during COVID, a lot of people flocked from like LA, New York, like different markets, Dallas, all over to Atlanta, especially since our housing market is fairly affordable and you can get a lot of house for your money. So with that, we've had a lot of people expand their companies here, relocate here, and then we have a lot of different headquarters and corporations coming here too. We have one of the best tax like credit incentives for corporations to come in Atlanta. So we have a lot of people flocking here because of that. And then we also have the World Cup coming. We're going to have 8 matches here in Atlanta next year. So that's a very big thing for us. So a lot of people, a lot of development and dirt is moving from a multifamily mixed use development scenario right now in our market. So Atlanta is really growing and it's exciting. I feel like I am still stressed about the infrastructure here because our roads are still not where they need to be. They're far behind Los Angeles, which is where I'm from. So like we don't have as many interstates as like LA and things of that nature. So more people are moving here, but the infrastructure is still far behind. So that's kind of the issue we're having right now with Atlanta with the growth that's happening. It's pretty rapid, but it's exciting at the same time. And as far from an international perspective, it's a lot of different companies coming here from just all over. I'm even working with the Netherlands as well. So I go to a lot of Netherlands events and they have a lot of companies that are expanding here as well. So yeah, it's growing from all angles at a very rapid rate here in Atlanta. So it's super exciting. And I'm happy to be a part of the Global Chamber officially. Thank you, Doug.
Oh, welcome. James, undoubtedly you've done some work in Atlanta, so you've seen a lot of
I've
that
been there
evolution.
a lot. And then one of our other
Okay.
partners, Donna, you may know Chris Mayer from CCC also.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Me and Chris are like, I've known Chris for years. I go to the CCC in Miami and he actually has one on the 16th. Love Chris. He's amazing.
Yeah, so we're helping him, longtime friend, the Beverly Hills launch. So I'm launching the
Okay.
Beverly Hills one. So if you don't mind coming back to LA
Yes, I would
for our
love
Beverly Hills
that.
launch.
That's so good to know. Yes, CCC, if you're not familiar with it, it's contractors, closers, and connections. We have a very big group of people that come. I mean, his events are 500-600 people at
Mhm.
one time. The Miami chapter is growing. It's not as big, but the guys down there are really great too. Stan and Rakesh that are they
Mhm.
actually are stationed in New York, but they run the Miami chapter. That one's growing, and Chris has just done a really good job of expanding it. But it's all the major players in commercial real estate, like all the major developers, and he typically moves it around to different development projects, and you get to hear from developers about what's going on in the market or the project that they're working on. So it's a super super great thing. Maybe we can get him on a call. Maybe that would be great if he could
We
hop
should.
on. Yeah, I will mention that when I see him next week for sure.
So, Doug,
Yeah.
this is where, with Renaissance, what we did was Global Chamber, CCC, Trans Global, different residential companies that do commercial to send referrals and leads to the commercial agents in an intake sheet. And we all know this, we work as a bigger group. Commercial actually plays nicer because all of us, we can't do everything. Like you were saying, from maybe site location, ground up, working with architects, we got to do so much. And by bringing it all together, Doug, you see this, like Don and I, we have a mutual friend. I guarantee we have more than just that one
Yeah.
friend of Chris and down it. That's why we all
Mhm.
work with each other a lot better because you're, from Los Angeles, went over to Atlanta, back and forth to Miami. And
Mhm.
this is where commercial is global. I know Laura and Paula, everyone here, we play everywhere, and a lot of times in commercial real estate, it's international, it's luxury and commercial. It's all the same friends, same connections, high net worth individuals, very connected people, but we share notes. And that's why, Donna, with this group or with Renaissance, it's different groups, friends, everyone sharing everything. But because of non-RESPA, you're like, I need a leasing agent, I need a business broker agent, I need a site location, I need an attorney. We just kind of give you an entire list and pricing, right? So we get everything down, lower billable hours in retail, that everyone's like, hey, why not save some money? And non-RESPA, why not make some money? So a lot of individual groups, franchise groups, even to large corporations, they want to plug in because everyone needs to make a little money, right, Donna? Little extra
For
into the
sure.
transactions.
Yes, no, that's so great. It's small world. And like I tell people, commercial real estate is big but very small.
Mhm.
Like you start to know the same people, even if they're in different markets. So no, it's actually great. I gotta tell Chris that I know you.
Yes, take a picture, Donna. And then also, we'd love to add you through property management. So so Scott is plugging in and organizing our referrals to property management, asset management, so we can send referrals. And that's the whole thing of different expertise, with Chris and the other Chris and other like DFX and other money managers or platforms. Everyone's working with each other. And this is the thing, Doug, you'll appreciate this. Trust, integrity, working with the right people, because everyone does know one. And now Donna and I are friends because of our better friends, not just Global Chamber friends, but CCC family. And Donna, next time you're out in our neck of the woods, or if you can make it for our Beverly Hills launch,
Yeah,
I
when
think
is the date for that?
November 13th. So Doug,
November
we're
3rd.
inviting you and everyone else, November 13th, if you can make it, Donna, to Beverly Hills. And obviously we'll make sure you're getting in.
Yeah, no, I would love to try to make it. My birthday's the 17th and my mom still lives in LA, so
Oh,
maybe I could try to make that a quick trip.
I, it would be
Yeah,
great. So I'll
yeah, I
tell,
would definitely
I'm going
try.
to take a picture right now and tell Chris, he'll love this. He's making such an impact. And
He
I
is.
knew Chris when he only had, I would say, 4 chapters
Yeah.
back
I remember
then,
when he
maybe
launched
5, 6 years
Atlanta.
ago.
Yeah, I remember when he launched Atlanta and now it's grown drastically. So yeah, I will make sure to drop the CCC link into the chat because there's chapters all over now. It's
Mhm.
really expanded rapidly. And if you're in commercial real estate in that world, or even if you're not, like you're a vendor of something that deals with commercial, it's just a great place to meet really serious people that are getting deals done and they're like willing to help. And Chris is amazing. He will connect you with whatever you're looking for. So I would love for him to hop on a call. I know he will. For
Doug, how do
sure.
you love this? We should get you. What do you think? And I know you mentioned everyone knows everyone, but that's why in commercial. But Doug, broader than that, you know everybody. So this is the network, Doug, that we're trying to create here at Global Chamber for the real estate part.
I didn't know about Donna's focus on, or not, maybe not focus, but work with Indian companies. That's really exciting. I'm part of a leadership group, US India, and I was invited to a breakfast in downtown LA on the 28th of this month, where, oh, now that I think about it, I'm supposed to be in New York that day. So I'm going to have to figure something out. I can't be both coasts at the same time. But maybe I could do breakfast in LA and dinner in New York. Let's see if I can do that. But the new consul general for India has invited some of us for a private conversation. So the fact that you've got that background is going to be really good. That
Yeah.
may not be possible, but we'll figure something out.
Yes,
I'd
and I'm
like to.
connected to the consulate here too as
Cool.
well. Yeah, and our deputy, the deputy is super nice. He's helpful. We actually have a conference. I will drop the flyer once we have it all done in February. We have about 60 manufacturers, CEOs from India coming to Atlanta, and it's kind of gonna be because we went there in February. It's like a delegation coming to Atlanta, and we're hosting them, and it'll be, I believe, the 7th through the 9th of February. I'll make sure to drop the flyer once we have the official flyer, but it'll be manufacturers coming from India, and then also it'll be companies coming from all over the Southeast to meet with them. So if you all are able to come to Atlanta for that, that would be awesome. So I'll make sure to drop that in the chat. That's through the Indian Chamber. I'm very connected to the Indian Chamber as well, too, and working on actually sitting on their advisory board as well here in Atlanta. So I advocate for India being being that I've went there, traveled there, experienced the culture firsthand. I have a 5-year visa. My goal is to go back to other parts of India. And they actually, we made such an impact when we went in February that they want us to come back as well. So my goal is to continue to go back and forth to India and help bring companies over.
Donna,
Very
we
good.
have a
We
we have
could
a
definitely.
connection also. I think Doug, through this with Jeff Pappas, we should connect Donna too with our Cyril group that is in India. And Donna, they do capital markets, property management, development. They're in, I think, 20 plus of the metro cities and areas within it. So I'll definitely connect you also.
They're based in
Thank
Hyderabad, but they're also
Okay.
members of Global Chamber. They joined, and so we'll definitely get you connected.
Thank you.
I'd like to keep you in the spotlight because you've got a lot of things going on. I'd also like to add Paula Machado, who is in Portugal, and she has a special event coming up, and I'd like to make sure that we hear from that because this is another, James, another example of how members can utilize the system. She's got an event that she's doing, and I think out of the 5 speakers, 3 of the 5 are Global Chamber members that you pulled in, or something on that order. So quite really exciting. One of them, I think, is Lauren, who we do need to get to because she's probably having a rough day today because of the baseball outcome last night.
Oh my God, let's.
But there's still another day, so it's not over
today's
till
the
it's
day.
over.
My son told me it's today, so I'm counting on it being today.
Okay. So I'm a Yankee fan. Lauren's a Toronto Blue Jays fan, and something's going to happen today, or maybe I think Friday if it doesn't happen. So we'll see if it goes to Game 5. But Paula, you've got this event coming up. Could you let us know a little bit about it? It's about Portugal.
Yeah, it's about Portugal. We are organizing it together with Lauren, Mona Lu, and Khalid. 3, I believe, Global Chamber members.
Fantastic.
So that's the first time I organize something together with Global Chamber members. That's pretty comfortable. It feels good. And we are, as I am an advisor to investing and moving into Portugal, and given Americans are liking a lot to fly to Portugal, we decided that it would be a great
And Canadians, don't forget the Canadians.
Yeah. You're right. I will correct my texts and train the texts. So we are speaking about a lot of topics that interest anyone that thinks of Portugal for whatever reason. We are covering all sorts of visas that people can apply to: residency, golden visa, working visas, startup visas, and more. Housing, of course, how to live here, for how much, how to use healthcare system, how to use schools, how to look for a property, how to buy safely. Of course, we will cover taxes. It's very important. Portuguese taxes that may apply to those individuals and investors. And also we have American and Global Chamber member, Christopher Clark, who is speaking about compliance to US taxes abroad. So I think we will cover a lot of interesting topics for everyone thinking.
What are the details? When is it, and how do we get connected?
21st October, 12 East time.
Okay. Very good. So
Donna, do you have the link to put in the chat? Or do you want me
I
to
put it
mine?
already.
Oh, okay.
I did, or I think I did.
Okay. Well,
Yes. Yeah.
fantastic. Looking forward to it. Khalid, interestingly, James, in the meeting we had in Vancouver, who was the fellow? Is it called Whatcom County, the one that's in Bellingham, where they're putting that development in that includes a cricket stadium? And so, oh my God. So what's going on with cricket? So Tony Mangat, who's a member of Global Chamber in Phoenix, has been working on a cricket stadium for there. And then one of these meetings we recognized that Khalid Munir, who's our leader in Orlando, has also been working on a cricket stadium and is very well connected. So I've sent information to both of them. Tony and Khalid had already connected up, and I forget the fellow's name who's up there in Whatcom County, but a lot of synergy can happen when people get together. Really, really exciting. And Paula, your example where you've been able to connect up with these other Global Chamber members, including Khalid, to talk about Portugal. We have a WhatsApp community, and I've seen that you've started to communicate through the WhatsApp community too, into some of our chapters across the US primarily. So that's great. Anything
Doug,
else we should know? Or the 21st of October, I believe.
Yes, 21st of October.
Fantastic.
From 12
Jim,
to 1:30 East time.
Jim, did you have something you wanted to add?
I just wanted to add, using Globi to start referring and connecting, because I've been helping with different friends that run pickleball associations, cricket. There's just all these opportunities where they have us and our commercial group kind of with everyone looking around for sites, repositioning some big box locations. They give us the parameters, and that's the exciting thing, Doug. Maybe using Globi, some of our other technology tools where needs, wants, other things we can put in, because everyone knows it is tough, right, to constantly be on technology, looking for opportunities, but how can we input information, having a database, and I know you're putting this together so we can really match up, or at least, start a dialogue or conversation or a group of people to really discuss, right? Whether it's cricket or development or something, that a larger audience within Global Chamber would really be interested in, and just having Global Chamber facilitate it and putting the right people in the room. Because if you ever do it like this and narrow it down to specifics, magic happens, right, Donna? I mean, I just sent it to Chris. He's like, love it. Tell her hello. And, it's just Chris is always doing it, or Doug is always doing it, or somebody's always doing it. But how can we connect quicker when there's an opportunity, right? Than waiting or calling and kind of doing it the old school way. But maybe, Doug, you can share what Globi is and what we can look for to really speed things up. I mean, we love to connect, but how can we speed things up?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. I want to make sure that we get to a few members. And Lauren, we introduced there briefly, and her momentary grief about the Blue Jays. But
Why?
Lauren, is there?
It's
There
only
will
momentary.
be a
Tonight
brighter.
it is going to change. Thank you very much.
There
The
is a
Yankees
brighter
cannot
opportunity.
dominate forever, okay?
So it's only one. It's only one game. Is there anything else that you wanted to
Yeah,
add about
so
things that are going on with
absolutely.
you?
The things that are going on. So as many of you know, I am also an immigration lawyer. So as you can imagine, it's been a very interesting time lately. James, I wouldn't be here if what he did 2 weeks ago had been in place when I came in, because I had 4 H-1Bs.
Mhm.
So that would have cost them $400,000 plus paying me. So either I would have gone broke or they would have. So it's a really interesting time to be in the international space. And I think that opens doors for us as high level participants in the Global Chamber to share and help each other and support each other. If you have questions, don't try to answer them yourselves. Ask me, not that I know all the answers. I don't, but we are actually building out a gold card program to help people that just want to buy their way into the country. So I'm here as a resource, and please use me. This company that James and I met in doesn't use me very well, but I think here at Renaissance and the Global Chamber, I think that it's much more collaborative, and I think much more deferential. Like, it's always about validating and making people feel important. And that's a big deal because, I have I am an international lawyer, and you may as well use and abuse me. I'm here. I'm not charging you guys. Just ask the questions. Connecting with Paula and the others that are creating this Portugal event is exciting. I'm actually going to be speaking about my other company, which is a fractional service business that I set up for companies that are coming into the country and don't really know what they're doing. And I'm speaking for Mona at her Orlando event on Tuesday about the importance of having a proper structure. So again, reach out. I'm here and would love to help you. I see your note, Ruby, and it seems to me like we have a lot to discuss. But again, feel free to reach out. I'm always here. Okay.
That's great. And that's Ruby Golo, who's the Global Chamber Ghana, but she's really connected all across Africa and at this point all across the world, including Turkey and many other countries. And so Ruby, thank you for your expertise. Is there anything that
one other thing? I'm sorry.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Donna was talking about India. And you know, a lot of what's being targeted right now with this mess with the H-1Bs is because of India. So a lot of Indian nationals and Indian entrepreneurs are very, very heavily impacted by it.
Yeah.
So if you want to, Donna, we'll talk further. But again, you know, what Trump is doing is, I believe, anything that he can do that doesn't require congressional approval, and that's anything to do with money and numbers. And there's going to be more changes, and I think the E2 is going to change drastically by the end of the year. But the reality is that it's just about finding solutions. But if you have clients that are interested from any country, tell them not to wait, because it's not going to get better.
Yeah.
So I'll just throw that out there. And again, I'm not charging you. You guys can talk to me, ask me questions, but it's a big deal. Sorry, Doug.
I just say
no
Lauren's
problem.
great. We use Lauren, and Lauren, you have your nice book too, that I know if you're nice to Lauren, she'll sign it and send it to you.
I might, yeah.
I got it. So, you know, this is why, Doug, this organization and all the different groups, the good leaders all get together, share resources, help each other, not always trying to price themselves in, just helping, right? And if you do enough, it will come back to you anyway. So Doug, do you want to close out? I always know 10 minutes before there's always another meeting because you're back-to-back meetings. Doug, if you want to kind of close out, or if anyone else wants to say something that you know that's on the call.
If you don't mind, another couple quick folks, we've introduced Ruby. Ruby, anything that you wanted to share, anything coming up that we should know about? And if you can't talk, that's okay as well.
Hi, everyone. Nothing to report at the moment, but anyone interested in my market, please reach out. I've shared my details in the chat box. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruby. There's another, and with Donna joining Global Chamber, thank you. And Lauren had done that earlier. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Another person who's joining, or maybe has already joined, is LJ Johnson. And I got to speak with him, and I think to your wife at the same time. So LJ's in real estate and his wife is on the mortgage side. I know Apple Valley is part of kind of where you are outside of LA. And so I look forward to weaving you into the Global Chamber story. I think the other day when I was talking to you, you were on the road, and maybe you're on the road right now, but thank you and welcome to Global Chamber. If you've already signed up, great. And if that's still coming this week, look forward to our follow-up call. Does anybody, Jim, Scott Cook is someone you work with very closely. Would you like to have him just say a word?
Sure. Scott, do you want to say a couple words? Because a lot of times, just to let you know, if I'm running around, he will replace me if it's not Ellen or Jeff. So we work as a team. Go ahead,
Super.
Scott.
Everyone, yeah, I won't go over the Renaissance deck again because nobody can cover it like Jim does. But yeah, we partner up on Renaissance. We have the property management company, our referral program. Donna, I did send a chat out to you just so we can connect, see if we can send some referral business your way. So yeah, if Jim can't make it, or even if Jim is here, I'll be popping in as well, just because, you know, from the Renaissance side and the real estate side, I do brokerage in San Diego. We do management, San Diego, LA, and then we refer out nationally. So It's kind of who I am and what I do. So I'm not the salesman that Jim is. I'm more the operations guy, but I'm here.
Very
And I
good.
appreciate that, Scott, because you need both sides to keep busy and keep productive.
Absolutely. Jim, would you like to make any final comments?
No, I just appreciate Global Chamber, Doug, you and all your effort, and we want to keep growing this family, this community together, help each other. I would say get through things and prosper. So, and then help the world. I think a lot of us, we have the same thing of we're all people and we all have the same, hopes, dreams, and we just want to help each other. That's all I want to say. Pray for everyone and just wish things calm down. That's all.
Absolutely. Oh, look at that. I disappeared. I'm not sure what that means.
And maybe it's time, Doug.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder how that works. Oh, look at that. There I am. There's actually a feature there where you can disappear. I did not know that. Thank you, everybody, for jumping in today. This is a conversation, and the meeting we had in Vancouver was just really, for me, quite inspirational, and really, again, reiterated how important real estate is into the global mix. And so, Jim, thank you for that vision. Thank you for moving us forward. Thank you to those who have joined Global Chamber. We will be working on making sure that you're busy with deals. And as Jim, one of the alignments we have is recognizing that, let's do deals. Let's do things that move forward. And that particular deal with the Japanese Village Plaza was really very special. I thought that was great. My brother is an architect, something that Donna mentioned about how in the commercial real estate world, you have to recognize that there's so many different players that you have to work with. I think that's also in alignment with how we think too. When you're doing global business, you can't do it alone. You need lawyers and bankers and all sorts of people to be able to do anything internationally.
And even
And
a few Blue Jays fans. Yeah, just saying.
we even include Blue Jays fans, and we should, and we even include Yankee fans, and I really appreciate everyone for that as well. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Have a great rest of the week, and have a good one. Thanks for joining.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, James.
Thank you, Paula.